Hey there, it's a Dad Who Games, and today's topic, the Dinobots. Welcome back. And before I even start the chatting, no, I do not have Grimlock. Don't ask me why with his, being the leader of the Dinobots and all, as well as his name being the name that most anybody thinks of when one brings up the Dinobots. Needless to say, want of Grimlock will not keep me from forging forward. And today's video is special for two reasons. One, first and foremost, I revamped my setup to make it look more like QVC. Granted, that wasn't my intention, but I kind of like the result, so we'll see how that goes. I'm using a reflective top turntable to circumvent my inability to keep my hands still when recording. Tell me what you think of it in the comments. Two, right after recording this video, I packed these prehistoric Autobots up for my buyer. That's right. And the baggage that's being purged with this video has been a long time coming, but we'll get to that. Suffice it to say, these toys, for which I have never had an ounce of care for, are currently being recycled into the War for Cybertron upcycles of my remaining 5 first-generation Transformers. Ironhide, Blaster, Sunstreaker, Hound, and Grapple. Okay, Ironhide isn't from the War on Cybertron series, but nonetheless, there will be unboxing videos to come, as well as taking out the classics for a little TLC. Hound really has seen better days. I'm stoked with the outcome of my own efforts selling history, but could you imagine the things I could bring to you with your subscriptions? 90% of my viewers are not subscribed. Dude, come on. If you aren't subscribed yet, why don't you think about that while you enjoy this showcase of the Dinobots? And subscribe. No, seriously, I'm debating emulating QVC with overlays and whatnot. I don't have a super professional setup yet, so I'm trying to optimize with what I've got. But don't worry, no cheap knockoffs here. These Dinobots really are a mystery to me with my lacking knowledge of engineering. Each of these in robot form do not look like they should be able to stand up on their own, especially Swoop here. But somehow, well, they can fully stand. And they each have some decent arm and leg movement to have playing with them as action figures legitimately possible. So why did I sell them? Alright, potential trigger warning if you were a child in an abusive household. Just saying. Well, when I was in high school, and I proudly had complete sets, including foils and special editions of each of the Marvel Universe trading cards, as well as each of the Marvel Masterpieces sets, I got burned so badly that I never collected a card again. And I mean, I had them all, and I took care of each to maintain their mint quality. And then one day, I come home, and my brother brings me, with a smirk, one of my trading card binders. He opens the brown 3-ringer, and I see Magic the Gathering cards. Like pages upon pages of them, without any of my cards. And he smiling admitted to me, then and there, that he had sold all of my cards for his fleeting interest in Magic, of which he never did anything more with. Here's the kicker. In tears, I went to my mom, telling her what my brother had done to my collection that she carted me all around New Jersey to complete, fingering through boxes of doubles, spending a little here and there for the foils, and even proudly sharing what I had acquired with my mom. They were super important to me. And she denied it. Like, no, Gregory, he wouldn't do something like that. She friggin' denied it. This was the level of gaslighting that I, as the family scapegoat, had handed to me throughout my childhood. Man, even into adulthood. Before I had cut ties completely with them, my mom still denied it. My brother did too. And they both looked at me like I was crazy. This is the same mother and brother who killed my love of Transformers by calling them baby toys, bullying me for playing and pretending. And these here Dinobots are my brothers. I mean, you could pretty much connect the dots with this one, but since I started bringing Transformers back into my life, the importance of reinventing my favorites while purging those that never found a place on my Christmas lists became a major part moving on with my life post-narcissism. Granted, he never cared for these, like he didn't for any of his toys. Like, he also sold our Super Nintendo and all of its games for a PlayStation 2. Granted, PlayStation 2 was groundbreaking and I loved it, but I'd never play Mega Man X anymore, or Super Mario All-Stars. So yes, it was with great pleasure to sell these. Yeah, it's not the most entertaining commentary, but this is it. That's the special part of this video for me. These Dinobots mark the end of my possession of my brother's tainted Transformers. While I was never a big fan of Dinobots, I know that there are indeed many who love the Grimlock dialogue from the series. Now I can smile at knowing that someone just like this will get excited in acquiring them. No promises on my delving into the mental health realm in my videos in the future, but what was once a therapy for my damaged childhood will now be for the love of Transformers. I've knocked a few of my toys for being cheesy, bulky, or lacking any action, but the reality is, I was still happy to have had them, as I'm sure some of you also have felt. So let's talk about these Transformers because, well, they're Transformers. Slug here was where I first learned the mechanics used for all of these toys with the exception of Swoop. Their legs are attached with swiveling screws. They only have to separate a fraction of an inch, but their legs are really big and heavy, and that weight is fully on those screws for transforming. They're hard to pull out, but they slide right back in before you try to move them further. It's hard to explain, but suffice to say, Slug's legs came off every time I transformed him. Conveniently, I switched back to talking about toys, and here is my favorite of the bunch, Sludge. Simply put, you can pose him almost as well as the War for Cybertron iterations. His arms are more to be desired, but it's a minor trade-off for the rest of him having nice action and, well, just generally looking cool. I realized I never held a Grimlock. In fact, none of my like-minded Transformers enthusiast friends had him. Was he like rare or something? Did you have a Grimlock? Or any of them? Leave me a comment with a pic or your story. It's interesting that the older you get with Transformers, the more you come to realize how solid these old things are. These toys have only scuffs and no breakage, aside from Swoop's plastic beak. Were the Beast Wars toys as good as these? I mean, it wouldn't have made me get them as a kid, but curiosity has me, and no, I'm not going to go out and buy one. While I'm on random curiosities, why are 4 of the 5 Dinobots named with names that start with S? Despite Slug's arms being pretty weak with how they can move, with the guns, he constantly looks like he's in an action sequence where he dives and shoots. I'll take it. So I might have been all over the place with this commentary, but I'll be completely honest with you. I just want to be done with them. I want to have this video be the symbolic end to my connecting Transformers to my past. It is important to talk about one's mental health, and I'm just happy to be feeling better. At least in this department. Maybe I'll be able to stream again in 2023. I really hope so, on so many levels. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video and for accepting my ramblings for what they are. 100% Craig. Until the next, have a day.